Welcome to Divine Secret Tarot. Today I'm going to talk about the Divine Masculines keep coming in with messages. Now, there are a few cards that I shuffled and wanted to bring out just to kind of dissect so you guys aren't waiting for messages. There is definitely a tethering to old patterns from the Divine Masculines. There is a definite waking up. But then there is false Divine Masculines happening purposely falling away. And the reason I say that is we've got the Devil card here, first and foremost, which is clarified by the Three of Cups. Now, for those divine masculines are being a powerful call to change, to wake up, to communicate, wanting to walk in alignment with their soul. They want to build something that truly shines the light on who they truly are. And for the divine masculine who is becoming aware of the chains, this is obviously their addictions, their karmic ties, their fear-based patterns, any toxic attachments, or any third-party situation or external validation, because the Three of Cups clarifying the Devil here suggests that what was once brought temporary distraction, comfort, that social fulfillment is really being seen for what it is. That was a distraction. That was their coping mechanism. That is what kept them stuck. And the message from the divine masculine is saying that they're breaking free from what no longer celebrates their soul, their false joy, their escapism. They're no longer satisfying them because they want that depth and distraction. And there's going to be a few divine masculines who you probably thought were your twin flames who were falling away because they're never going to step up that way, right? And I'm laughing because it's a blessing to know that these false twin flames actually were sent for you to make all the mistakes, make the errors in order for you to step into an energy where you are treated very, very well. And you're going to know the difference. So when we've got the Star card, clarified by the Fool, two major arcana, this is such a deep healing process. Now, we've just had a full moon, and I'm definitely seeing that the divine feminines are stepping into their prime situation, their feelings, their expansion, and that is supporting the divine masculines being led spiritually, being led towards their new path. Indirectly, the more feminines you're stepping into your healing, you're stepping into your joy, you're stepping into your worthiness and holiness, even. You know, that is helping the divine masculine guide their inner compass towards themselves because your divine feminine energy lives within them. You know, you're offering that hope and you're offering that renewal because that Fool is this invitation to take a leap of faith, to trust in the unknown. And both of you are doing that within yourselves. And you're really embodying the powerful energy and of your aura. You know, the divine masculine does feel that pull towards something higher, towards something true, and they're really ready to step up. I am genuinely getting that I'm ready kind of vibe. They're not going to have any answers yet, but they do trust their soul's calling. They're kind of like dabbling in tarot or spirituality or anything of that nature. Now, then we've got the Hierophant, which again, another major arcana, which I love because it is all talking about spiritual alignment, deeper truth, purpose, depth, maturity, leadership. And if that wasn't enough, it was clarified by the King of Wands. Now, this is possibly the most sacred union or soul mission card. Together with the Hierophant, like you're adding in that passion, you're adding in that boldness, you're adding in the vision. This is the divine masculines solidifying their actionable steps, their purposeful, intentional moves, because they're no longer afraid of commitment. They're no longer afraid of growth, of truth, or even you, divine feminines. Like, I feel that divine feminines have really worked on getting into a frequency of receiving. Like for a lot of feminines who have been hyper independent, who have been focusing on themselves, and it has been quite difficult to rely on other people. But at the same instant, you are trying so hard, feminines, to break down those old barriers and allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to be treated well, right? That's such a beautiful growth for you, and you're leading with integrity and devotion to yourself, and the divine masculines are feeling this energy. So then we have the Six of Pentacles, which was clarified by the star, you guys. We have the star twice now in this reading. Another major arcana, because when I spoke about the divine feminines being able to receive, like you are givers. If you are listening into this message and you resonate with the divine feminine energy, you have been giving and giving and giving, and you're fed up with giving, but it doesn't mean you won't keep giving, right? You're probably doing that with your children or your family or anybody around you. You are such a beautiful soul who does give, even when they're depleted. But now you're focusing on yourself and you're replenishing yourself. This is a restoration, an energetic balance that you have honored, divine feminines. And in that instant, the divine masculine will be mirroring you. So if they were overgiving or even like people pleasing, withholding the past things, keeping secrets, like wanting to kind of push people away because they didn't want to reveal or get hurt, they do want to heal that dynamic within them, which inadvertently heals the dynamic between the both of you, because this is an emphasis of this divine support and spiritual healing being emphasized. Like the divine feminines have been wanting to learn to love and trust and dependent upon themselves, but the way that they need to receive is to accept those compliments, to receive the love they're pouring into themselves, to allow themselves to recognize what is it that I need to see and what is it that I want to be held accountable to, right? You're putting in your boundaries, you're putting in certain expectations of yourself, but also you know that you are worthy of this powerful energy. And so the divine masculine does want to show up in that equal measure. They don't want to be the energy that constantly drains you. They want to be a part of the replenishing phase. They want to be coming in healed and worthy and have the acknowledgement that they can exchange energy, love, and support with you. And so having the Seven of Pentacles really does see the Six of Pentacles moving on to sow new seeds from a new energy, from a new resource, and actually allowing the divine masculines to assess, to even reassess more deeply on a long-term basis what is worth investing in. Now, the King of Swords was actually clarifying the Seven of Pentacles. So this is a approach that the divine masculine hadn't taken before, because they haven't been able to observe it from this type of perspective. They haven't really been able to heal to this degree or to come from a place of clarity. They've come from a place of logic, but then it was more impulsive. So now they're coming into an energy of seeing the bigger picture, like seeing it from a different perspective. And I feel like this is growth. This is ultimate growth regarding them being patient, being observant, actually acknowledging what they truly deserve of their time, of their energy, of their future. And the divine masculine does want to state that their mind is getting clearer and they are trying to choose what is best for them, their family, their circumstances, their future. And that's a big, bold energy that we've had the King of Wands and we've had the King of Swords, being honest with themselves, because the less honest they are with themselves, the more they manifest that, right? The slower the union ends up in the physical because they weren't being intentional, they weren't being honest with themselves. And now, the last card that actually did want to jump out was the Knight of Pentacles, which is really beautiful because I feel this knight is all about this slow moving, intentional, reliable, committed, worthy, loyal. Did I say loyal already? They may feel, it may seem as if they're taking their merry time, but what is meant for you will not pass you by, Divine Feminines. You know this. You know you've been put under a scrutinized microscope by God, by spirit, by source, whatever you want to label it, because you didn't know your worth in order to accept those beautiful things. You didn't know how worthy you were, but you needed to put those boundaries in to accelerate your growth. You know, even if the divine masculine is moving slowly, they're leading with a foundation that will last. They're moving with intention because they want to create that stable, grounded, meaningful life with you and for themselves. So, overall, this masculine has been reiterating that they've been in the shadows, they've been tethered to old patterns, and they are waking up. They see the truth of their choices. There are some regrets that are coming through because obviously we have the devil right at the beginning of this card reading. There is a powerful call to change, but it's very slow moving. Because if you think about the devil right at the beginning of the reading, and then we've got the Knight of Pentacles right at the end, they're really trying their best to self-reflect. And when they've got work things, and when they've got friend things, and when they've got things, it gives them a distraction, which means they move slowly towards this aha moment, towards these epiphanies, unless something drastic happens. But I feel this powerful call to change around their choices, around their history, around their future, because they do want to walk in alignment with their soul, to love with integrity, with depth, to build something that is truly reflective of who they are. And this is something that they've truly wanted, but they've never really been honest with themselves about this. No, they may not have the words, they may not be able to approach in a very specific way because they weren't given the opportunity to learn those things. But their heart is healing, and there is this guidance that they are being given to lead them home. So, if you guys, if you are feeling fear or uncertain, this is completely normal. This is what's happening for the divine masculines at this time. But keep focusing on your own journey. Keep assessing what those old patterns you are letting go of, and how you can step into your worthiness, your abundance, your intentional, actionable steps. And please do like this video, comment if you can below, because I love listening, reading from your comments, and I really like engaging with you guys. I think you are amazing, and I'm so grateful that I get to interact with you in this way. So I'm sending you guys so much love. Bye for now.